Well, hello. Thanks for coming. Welcome to English Bus Lessons. My name is Wayne, and we have a very interesting lesson for you today. Now, first, you need your textbook. Do you have your book? American School Textbook, Vocabulary Key, Grade 4. So, if you have your book, let's study. Okay, now let's have some fun. Now please open your book to Unit 1 on page 10. Now the title is The West Region of the United States. Now, look at this. Do you know what this is? Right, it's the map of the United States of America. Now, our unit is the West region. Now, where is the West? Do you remember where the West is? Is it over here in this area? Or maybe down here? No, this is the East, this is the South, this is the North, and today we are talking about the West region over here. All these states is what we're talking about. And there's much interesting land in that area. Okay, so that's what we're studying today, that area, that region. So now, keyword number 1 is bountiful. Bountiful. Now let me show you what bountiful is. Look at this bag. Lots of food. Down here there's food, cheese, onions, tomatoes, milk, bread. Bountiful really just means much or many. Really, bountiful is much or many. So, in the United States of America, the West has bountiful land, and usually bountiful means food. So, the weather in the West United States is very good. So, they can grow a lot of food in the West. It's very, very beautiful. So, bountiful means much. Bountiful food. Great, so that's easy. Now, word number 2, because the west of the United States is bountiful, I'll show you, lush. In some places in the west of the United States, there's a lot of rain, very, very much rain. So look at the trees and look at all the bamboo and all the plants. This is beautiful. And water, this is lush. Lush means many plants, many trees. And in the west of the United States, it is very, very lush. Now, word number 3 is dense. Dense. Now, because it's lush, so many trees, so many plants, it's very dense, very crowded. That's what dense means. It's very crowded together. Okay? So in the forest, the trees and the plants are very, very dense. Now also, if you think of gold, like on my ring is gold. Gold is very dense, and that's why it's heavy. So dense means very, very crowded, very, very packed together. Now, I'm going to show you a little picture here. I'm going to do something. I'm going to draw a picture for you. Just one moment. I'll change my color. Word number 4 is the rain shadow. Now, the rain shadow. Now, along America, I'm going to draw the ocean. There's my ocean waves. And then suddenly, there's a big mountain, okay? And then the mountain goes down into the ocean. Now, America on the west has big mountains, a very long mountain range. So the water and the air comes in, goes up, and we get beautiful clouds here, and it starts raining. But over here, on this land, it's dry. The rain does not go over. So this is the rain shadow, And it's a dry area that doesn't get rain from the ocean. So that's the rain shadow. Okay, let's continue on. Let's go forward. There's our pictures again. Now, also, there's one problem in the West. Because there's so many trees, it's very lush. We have logging. What is a log? Well, here, this tree is a log. In English, a tree that is cut is now a log. Now, this has been cut by the chainsaw. That's called a log. So, in English, logging is cutting all the trees. That's a big, big problem in Canada and America and many places around. The people are cutting too many trees, and now there's no trees in some areas. So logging is a problem. Now, I'm going to show you something. Let me have my pen, make sure I have the right color. I'm going to use red for this. Actually, maybe let's continue. There. This is a forest. Now let me show you over here. Deforest. And I'm going to write this on the other board too. Okay, deforest. There, forest is the trees. To deforest is to cut the trees. So, okay, now word number 6 is deforestation. Let me just write this for you so that you can see it very, very quickly, okay? Let's go over here. Let me just shove this aside. There we go. Push that aside. Pointer to the side. Now, try it one more time, and you can see it better here. It's much, much better. There, you can see that a lot better, can't you? Forest is the trees. The deforest is cutting all the trees down. And that's a problem, because if you cut all the trees down, where do the animals live? You know, and the land can be destroyed. And that's a very, very big problem in the United States. Okay, now word number 7. Let me show you a nice picture. Okay. Do you recognize this area? Look at this. What are they doing? These men are digging, because at that time in the 1800s, somebody found gold, a lot of gold out there. So people from the east of the United States went rushing and running to the west. So they call that the gold rush, and that's word number 7. All these people are digging for gold, and then there's water here, lots of water, and they're picking out the small pieces of gold. And in the western United States, they found a lot of gold in the 1800s. But now these days, there's not so much gold. They found all of it. They found a lot of it. Now, that's the old days. So what does the west part of the United States look like today? Can you guess? Yeah. What is this? This is a city. Yeah. It's a very big city. What do cities do? Cities start very, very small, and then they grow, and then they grow. And when something grows out, we call that sprawl. Urban sprawl. Okay? So, a city equals urban. It's just an urban area, city or urban. So this is a city sprawl, urban sprawl. The city is getting bigger and bigger. And in Los Angeles and San Francisco area, it has become very, very, very big within 100 years and more. Now, also, if it's a big city, many people, many cars, we have, wow, cars, a lot of cars, dense. Remember the word dense? All together. So lots of traffic trying to go home or go to work or go on vacation, and they're very, very close together. So traffic congestion. Congestion means to be stopped and blocked. You can't move because there's so much traffic. That's the problem in big cities that grow very fast. Yeah. Wow, it's a terrible thing. Now, one other part of the western United States is not in a city. It's not in a lush forest. It's actually very far on the northwest. Now, this is an Eskimo, or we can say in your book it says Inuit. And the person is building Like an igloo, and I'm going to spell that for you. Yeah, it's building like an igloo. And it's very cold. The old Eskimos and the old Inuits, in your book, Inuit, they made igloos so that they could stay warm and have a home in the wintertime. Okay, that's very, very good. Those are the keywords. So please take a look at the keywords, practice them, try them. Now, in one moment, when we come back, we'll look at the power verbs. Now, the power verbs on page 11. Now, with the power verbs, we can make sentences with the keywords. So let's try. Now, look at number 1. It's called irrigate. Irrigate. And I'll give you a hint. Irrigate means to give water to the land. The people give water to the land. They spread water on the land. Remember my picture that I drew before, the ocean and the mountain. The air goes up, rain comes down here, and on the land, also here, there's more rain, comes all down here. But here in the rain shadow, the dry land, there's no water, not much water. So over here in this farmland, the people have to irrigate the land. Irrigate the land. Have to spread water so that they can grow food and it can be bountiful. I'll just push that over just a little bit. So for the cows and for the animals and to grow vegetables, they must irrigate the land. So that's good. Now, the next one is to deforest. Do you remember the word deforestation that we talked about? Deforest is cutting down the trees. So let's make a sentence. The people deforest the land. It means they cut down the trees. They deforest the land. Now another one is, there's other 3 words here, log, hew, and cut down. These are the power verbs. So one more time. The people deforest the land, or they log the land. The trees. They hew the trees. They cut down the trees. They deforest the forest. And you remember the picture of the man cutting down the trees? That's it. So there's 4 ways of saying that. Now, let's find the picture and in the list. Do you remember the big city? Oh yeah. Wow. Look how big that is. Now, overpopulate. Populate means to add more people or add something. So here we populate the land. More people come and the city gets bigger, 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 urban sprawl. So we overpopulate the land. And the western United States, the western region, is overpopulated. So we overpopulate the land. Too many people. Too many people. See, now we're making sentences. That's fun. Now, if you're here, I think it's the next picture. Let's take a quick look. Yes, it is. If you're driving your car, you are stuck in traffic. So it says be stuck in. You're driving your car, you are stuck in traffic. Stuck in traffic. Or you are caught in traffic. Now there, we're making sentences with the power verbs and the keywords together. And now it's your turn. You try it. Look at the power verbs and the keywords and you try to make some sentences with it. And when you're finished, come back and we'll do the word families. Now, let's look at the word families on page 11 in your book. Now, the first word family is states in the West. Now, each of these are called states. America has states. Now, in the West, there are many, many states. In your book, it says Alaska. Now, Alaska. Now, this is a picture of Alaska down here, okay? But really, Alaska is not there. Alaska is very, very high, touching Canada. Very, very high up in the air. or not up in the air, but up on the map, on the globe. Very, very far away. But for this picture, they put Alaska here. And another state is Hawaii. Hawaii, the islands of Hawaii, and the volcanoes. Volcanoes made those islands. That's in the water, in the Pacific Ocean, very far away, but it's in the west. So Alaska and Hawaii are in the west and up. But the other ones, Oregon is in this area. And then there's California, it's a very beautiful state. And then Nevada as well. And Washington. Washington is up in this area. So those are the states that are in the west region. Now, below that is the leading industry. The jobs. What type of jobs do they do in these areas in the west? Well, the movie industry, Hollywood. Do you like Hollywood movies? What's your favorite Hollywood movie? Now near Los Angeles, maybe here, there is Los Angeles, and they made many, many movies. It's a very great place for making movies. And also is the music industry up around here. Music is very, very popular in the west of the United States. Also the defense, the Army, the Navy, they are also in this area. So there's many, many jobs in the movie industry, the music industry, and defense industry. And also computers. Now I remember around San Francisco area, it's very, very popular, the computer industry. Many programmers are in that area. And one more is the aerospace. Making airplanes. They make a lot of airplanes in that area. Yeah, they're very famous for that. So those are the states and the jobs. Now the next one is the geographical features. Now features, geographical is the land. Geographical is the land. Features, well, what kind of land is there? Well, they have earthquakes. The ground shakes and sometimes buildings fall. They have earthquakes over there in the west side. And in Hawaii, out in the ocean, it's actually in the ocean, they have volcanoes. And extreme climate. In Los Angeles, it's very hot, very dry, and San Diego down here. But up here is very lush, a lot of trees, a lot of plants, a lot of rain. And here, wow, so much rain in that area. So the weather changes a lot. Now, fertile soil. This fertile soil is the ground. And the soil has a lot of good nutrients. So plants can grow. Fertile soil means the ground is very, very good for growing crops, vegetables, food, trees, and plants. San Andreas Fault. Now, remember earthquakes. A lot of earthquakes? Well, there's a very big fault line, and it goes here. And the ocean and the United States, they meet together. That's called the fault line, and that's why we have earthquakes, and it's why we have big mountains here. And in another unit, we're going to study that. Sierra Nevada mountains, okay? Now there's the mountain, there's a big mountain range in here. Very high mountains because the land and the ocean are coming together and going up. Death Valley in Nevada. Really not much water, very, very dry. It's a valley. Mount McKinley, the Great Basin, Yosemite National Park, and the Redwood National Forest. Redwood is the name of a tree, and they are very, very tall. Okay, so those are the word families, and take a look at them, practice them, and when you come back, when you're ready, let's do some reading together. And now it's reading time, my favorite time, on page 13. And the story today is Earthquakes and Forest Fires. So please, let's read together. Are you ready? California, is one of the richest states in America. It has a large amount of land, and it also has more people than any other state. It has plenty of natural resources too, but everything is not perfect there. California has two major problems: earthquakes and forest fires. The San Andreas Fault runs through California. Now, because of it, the state gets many earthquakes. Some of them are very powerful. For example, there was a strong earthquake in San Francisco in 1906. It destroyed many buildings and it started numerous fires. Over 3,000 people died after it. There have also been many other strong earthquakes. Some people fear that the big one will hit someday. They think an earthquake will cause a huge amount of damage. During summer and fall, much of California is dry, so forest fires or wildfires often start. These fires can spread rapidly. They burn many forests, but they can also burn people's homes and buildings. They often kill people before firefighters can put them out. Now, all right, how was that? Was that pretty good? Now, before we finish, let's look at some of the words. Natural resources. Resources are things we can use. Things that are natural, the earth has given us. Trees and oil and gold, things in the ground. Now, destroyed, things that are broken and ruined and don't work anymore. The fire destroyed many trees, many buildings. They're no longer there. Numerous just means many. Numerous people, many people. Rapidly is fast or quick. Rapidly. And wildfires, big fires that spread fast. Okay, that was the reading. Please, you try the reading again one more time, two more times. Practice makes perfect. But before we finish, let's go take a look at what we studied today, okay? Here's the key words again one more time. Bountiful, plenty or many or much, a lot of. Bountiful food, bountiful land. Lush, lush, a lot of vegetation, like vegetables, trees, and plants. And in a jungle, all the vegetation is close together, so it is dense. That means close together, very crowded. Rain shadow. Now remember, that's on the opposite side of the mountain, very dry. It doesn't get much rain. It doesn't get much rain. Logging. People cut down the trees and take the logs. Logs are trees. Deforestation is to cut the forest down, and we call it deforestation. Gold rush. In California and other places, they found gold. So people rushed to go there and get the gold. Urban sprawl. Urban sprawl? Urban is city. Now the sprawl is very big and it goes outwards. Traffic congestion. Many, many cars, so crowded that they cannot move. Traffic congestion. Inuit is Eskimo people. Now these days we say indigenous, but it's the Eskimo people in the north in Alaska. Congratulations! Unit 1 is finished. You did a good job. So thank you for coming today, and I hope that we actually see you again on English Bus Lessons, all right? Have a great day. See you again. Bye-bye.